Part 3 of When You Get Hired as a Caretaker of a Mafia's Daughter. Fanfiction by Bangtan Fiction World. Few months later, Ryan is helping Soyun get ready when a knock sounds at the door. She glances up expecting a maid, but instead Jungkook stands there, hands in his pocket, his gaze flickering between her and Soyun. Jungkook to Soyeon, come here. Soyeon immediately runs over, hugging his legs. Jungkook places a hand on her head before looking at Ryan. His expression remains unreadable, but his next words catch her off guard. Jungkook, you are coming with me today. Ryan blinking confused. What? Jungkook, Soyeon has a doctor's appointment. You will come. It's not a request, it's a decision. Ryan hesitates before nodding slowly. Later, as they drive through the city, Van sits stiffly in the back seat with Seon while Jungkook remains silent in the front. The air is thick with something unspoken, but she doesn't dare to ask why he wanted her to come. Maybe it's for Seon's sake, or maybe he doesn't realize he didn't want to leave her behind. After the appointment, they stop by a high-end restaurant for a lunch. Jungkook remains unreadable, only speaking when necessary. But then, as Wan reaches to help Suyin with her food, a waiter, young, polite, smiles at her. Waiter kindly, do you need anything else, miss? Before Wan can respond, a distinct shift occurs. Jungkook's fingers tighten around his glass, his jaw clenching ever so slightly. It's barely noticeable, but Wan catches it. Jungkook, curt, cold, we are fine. The waiter blinks, nodding quickly before hurrying away. Wan frowns slightly, glancing at Jungkook, but he doesn't look at her. Instead, he cuts into his stick with slow precision, his movement too controlled. Wan opens her mouth to say something, but Suyen suddenly tugs on her sleeve, drawing her attention away. And just like that, the moment is gone. But Wan knows what she saw, and for the first time, she wonders: is Jungkook really as indifferent as he pretends to be? Late night in the study, Vines with the night air is crisp against my skin as I step into Jungkook's study, the glow from the desk lamp casting long shadows on the wall. Soon is fast asleep, but I couldn't sleep, so I'm to take a book. Jungkook is sitting in his chair, fingers lazily twirling a glass of whiskey. He doesn't look up, but I know he sends me. Jungkook voice strained. You shouldn't be here this late. Ryan, I didn't know I need permission to read a book. Walking towards the shelf, I can feel his gaze on me. I grab the book and turn, but I don't make it two steps before. Jungkook soft. Ryan, I freeze. I glance over my shoulder, and for the first time, I notice he looked tired. Not the kind of tired that sleep could fix. I swallow. I shouldn't care, but my feet betray me. I walk towards him, stopping just before his desk. Ryan, are you okay? He leans back, studying me. Jungkook amused. Are you worried? Ryan shrugging. You keep looking like you need someone to ask. His jaw ticks. For a moment, neither of us speak. Then he stands too close, too fast. I suck in a breath as he towers over me, the faint scent of his collagen wrapping around my senses. Jungkook, low, deep. And what if I do, Ryan? His voice drops. What if I need something from you? The air thickens. I can't move because his eyes start burning, wanting are locking on mine. I should leave, but I don't because something about the way he is looking at me roots me in place. Ryan whispered, then tell me. A slow smirk tugs at his lips. Jungkook, you are dangerous. Ryan blinking. Me? He steps closer until my back almost hit the desk. Jungkook, you don't even realize it, do you? His fingers brush against my cheek. Ryan, realize what? His gaze flickers to my lips. Jungkook, that you make me want things I have no right to. I don't know who moved first. 1 second we are staring, and the next his hand grips my waist, pulling me flush against him. My breath hitches, his lips hover dangerously close, our breath mixing, the warmth of his skin searching into mine. One more inch, and but then he pulls back, just enough to leave me breathless, itching. Jungkook murmuring, go to bed, Ryan. I can barely think. He steps away like nothing happened, leaving me standing there flushed, confused, and wanting more. And the worst part, I know he did it on purpose. Next day, early morning, Ryan's POV. The house is quiet when I step into the kitchen, rubbing the sleep from my eyes. I don't expect anyone to be awake, but there he is. Jungkook stands by the counter, sleeves rolled up, a steaming cup of coffee in his hand. His tattooed forearm flexes as he brings the cup to his lips, eyes flickering up when he notices me. Jungkook voice thick. You are up early. Wan, so are you. Walking past him towards the fridge, but he doesn't move. I try to ignore his presence, but I feel it everywhere. I reach for the milk, but suddenly his hand is there too. Warm fingers brush against mine. I suck in a breath, freezing as my skin tingles from the brief contact. Neither of us move. When I finally look up, he is already watching me. Jungkook murmuring, "Do you always make this much noise in the morning?" Vans following, "Do you always invade people's space?" Jungkook smirking, "Only yours." Before I can respond, his hand trails down, brushing against my wrist. A deliberate touch, a silent test. My pulse spikes. Then his fingers wrap around mine, praying the milk from my grasp, placing it on the counter instead. Jungkook soft, "You should eat first," and just like that he's gone, leaving me with nothing but the ghost of his touch. Time skipped late afternoon, Vance POV. The mansion is too quiet. Suyan, I call out, my voice echoing down the long hallway. My heartbeat quickens as I check the usual spots. Her playroom, the garden, even the kitchen, but she is nowhere to be found. She was just here a while ago. Where could she have gone? My feet carry me upstairs towards Jungkook's bedroom. He is currently in his home office. Normally, I wouldn't dare to step in his space without permission, but worry pushes me forward. I push open the door. The room smells like faint collagen and leather, a mix of him that makes my chest tighten. No signs of Soyen. I turn to leave, but a small flicker of light catches my eye, a drawer slightly open. Something inside glints under the dim light, a photograph. I wouldn't have cared, but the edge of it looks familiar. My fingers tremble as I pull it out, and then everything stops. It's a hospital room. Jungkook is sitting beside a hospital bed, dressed in all black, his usual unreadable face replaced with something softer, something I have never seen before. He is smiling. But that's not what shakes me, because in his arm he is holding a baby, a tiny bundle wrapped in pink, a newborn, and beside him, me. My heart slams against my ribcage, my body freezes as I stare at the woman in the hospital bed, the same face, my face. The woman is me. My breath turns shallow, fingers clutching the edge of the photo so tightly it crumples. No, no, this can't be. A sick feeling twists in my stomach, my mind spinning in a thousand directions. I don't remember this. I don't remember any of this. But the proof is right here. Suyan, my Suyan. I stumble back, the word suddenly tilting. Now I understand meaning of all his stolen glances, all those touches. Suyan's eyes which look like me. Signs are always in front of me, but I ignored. But why can't I remember anything? The date on the bottom sends a shiver down my spine. 3 years ago. 3 years ago when I supposedly DIY. My stomach twist. It doesn't make sense. I should be scared, but more than fear, I feel betrayed and I need answers. Jungkook study. The heavy wooden doors swing open with a loud bang. Jungkook stands by the fireplace, a glass of whiskey in his hand. His eyes flickers to wine, but his face remains unreadable. Jungkook, calm, low voice, "You shouldn't be here." Van marches forward, throwing the photograph on his desk. It slides across the polished surface, stopping in front of him. Jungkook glances down at it but doesn't react. Van's voice shaking but firm. "Explain." A tense silence stretches between them. Jungkook's finger tighten around his glass before he slowly sets it down. Jungkook, where did you find this? Van snaps, stepping closer. "That's not the question you should be answering. Tell me the truth, Jungkook." His jaw clenches, his eyes dark, finally meets her. Jungkook, low, controlled. "You weren't supposed to find out this way." Van whispers. "Find out what?" Jungkook voice heavy, slow. "That you were never dead." Van's breath catches. The room suddenly feels too small, too suffocating. He watches as Van's entire body stiffens, her fingers curled into fist. Van, voice barely above a whisper. "What did you just say?" Jungkook, soft but firm. "3 years ago, someone tried to kill you. It wasn't an accident, Van. It was planned." She takes a shaky step back, her mind reeling. Van, confused. "That's not possible. No one ever." Jungkook interrupts, voice darkening. "I made sure no one ever could touch you again, ever, even if it meant making the world believe that you were dead." Hybrid stutters, the weight of his words crashes over like a wave, suffocating, drowning. Van whispers, shaking her head. "Then why don't I remember?" Jungkook pained, "Because when you woke up you had no memories, not of me, not of Soyeon, nothing." Van's eyes widen in horror. She stares at him, trying to process the impossible truth. Wine, voice breaking. Then why? Why did you keep her away from me? Jungkook swallows hard, his hands clenching at his sides. Jungkook hoarse, because I couldn't risk losing you again. Wine stares at him, searching his face for any sign of a lie, but there is only raw, unfiltered pain in his dark eyes, and for the first time he looks vulnerable. Her gaze shifts to the photo on the desk, the proof that everything she thought was a lie. Wine whispers, tears welling in her eyes, and soon is she. Jungkook soft, she is ours, Wine. A strangled sound escapes her lips. Her knees feel weak. Jungkook steps forward instinctively, catching her before she falls. She grips onto his shirt, trembling, Wine sobbing. You should have told me. Jungkook's hand tightens around her, his forehead resting against hers. Jungkook soft, broken. I didn't want to force you to live in a past you didn't remember. I didn't want to lose you all over again. The room is silent except for their raged breathing. Wine, voice shaking. If I was never dead, if you fake it then, who I am to the world? Jungkook quite controlled. A nameless woman, someone who has never supposed to be found. Van shaking her head. Then what about my aunt? She was the only family I had. Jungkook let out a bitter cough, rubbing his temple as if he was expecting this. Jungkook cold cutting. Your aunt? His words send a chill down Vine's spine. Her hands tremble as she looks at him. Confusion clouded her mind. Vine hesitant, whispering, What do you mean? Jungkook, the woman you thought was your aunt was never related to Vian. She was the nurse assigned to take care of you after your accident. She was never your family. The room tilts. Vian stumbles back, her entire world cracking like a fragile glass. Vian shaking her head in denial. No, that's not true. She told me, Jungkook. She told you what you need to believe, what I need you to believe. Why and desperate tears welling up? Why? Why would you let me think she was my family? Why would you? Jungkook gritting teeth because you want to work. You wanted a life outside of the four walls I built to protect you. You wanted freedom, and I couldn't keep you locked away forever. Vine was about to say something when they hear a soft footsteps. Suen stands at the door clutching her stuffed bunny. Her small voice breaks the silence. Suyan hesitant, looking up at Jungkook. Daddy, can I finally call her Mama now? Vine's eyes well up with tears. She turns to the little girl, her daughter. Vine soft shakily, Suyan. Jungkook watches as Vine drops to her knees, arms open. The little girl hesitates for only a second before running into them. Vine clutches her daughter tightly, tears streaming down her face. Vine whispering against Soyun's hair. I'm sorry, baby. I'm here now. I won't leave again. Jungkook look at them, mother and daughter together again. His throat tightens, his vision blurs, and before he can stop himself, he kneels beside them, pulling them both into his arms. Vine sob against his chest, Soyun buried between them. For the first time in 3 years, Jungkook allows himself to break. Jungkook softly was shaking. You were always mine, Ryan. Both of you were always mine. Ryan looks up at him, tears in her eyes, but something else too, understanding, and as she reaches up, cupping his face, Jungkook leans into her touch, closing his eyes. Inside the bedroom later that night, Ryan's POV, I sit on the bed, hands still trembling. Suwen is curled against my side, breathing softly in her sleep. My daughter, I run a hand through her soft hair, swallowing the lump in my throat. She feels so small, so breakable, and she's mine. A shadow lingers by the door. Jungkook, he doesn't say a word, but his eyes hold everything. 8 months of hiding, 8 months of pain, 8 months of love he could never say loud. Jungkook lingers by the door, watching me with Suyan. His hands are clenched at his sides. He looks helpless. I finally speak. Why did you do it? He steps forward, his dark eyes searching mine. Jungkook, I was ready to burn the world for you, Ryan, but keeping you alive meant giving you up. I never wanted to let you go, but watching you breathe, watching you exist, even without me, was better than seeing you in the ground. Ryan whispered, and now, Jungkook exhales shakily. Jungkook, now I'm done pretending. He looks at Soon, his expression softening. Jungkook, she waited long enough, and so have I. He takes a step closer. So if you are ready, Ryan, come back to us. I look down at Suyan, still asleep in my arms. Jungkook horse barely above a whisper. I almost lost you once. I don't know if I could ever survive again. I stand stepping closer, Soon still in my arms. I reach for Jungkook's hand. He stiffens, then slowly laces his fingers through hers. Van whispers, gaze steady, then don't let me go. Jungkook stares at her before something inside him finally gives in. His arms wrap around them both, pulling them into his warmth, into his everything, and for the first time in a long, long time, they are home. The end.